So Stephanie Grisham, who is technically the press secretary, although you wouldn't know because they don't do press conferences, she was on Good Morning America and she was asked about this. Now take a look at her BS argument for why we should not be appalled at what Trump did.
Will the president apologize to the Dingell family?
I haven't spoken to the president about that. I would say that I am very, very sorry for her loss. And I would thank her and I would thank her late husband for all of the service to our country. The president did lower the flags at the White House to have staff to do everything he could to honor him at her request. So we'll see what happens from there. We do thank them for their service. And again, very, very sorry for her loss.
Why do you think the president said that overnight?
You'd have to talk to the president about that. He was at a political rally. He has been under attack and under impeachment attack for the last few months and then just under attack politically for the last 2.5 years. I think that, as we all know, the president is a counterpuncher. It was a very, very supportive and wild crowd, and he was just riffing on some of the things that had been happening the past few days.
Well, every one of those arguments from Stephanie Grisham right there are so incredibly sad and dishonest. It was a wild and supportive crowd, so of course he's going to say that a dead congressman's in hell, presumably. She didn't finish the sentence, but what does that mean? It's a wild and supportive crowd, so he can say whatever he wants. He can threaten to kill someone. It's a wild and supportive crowd. They liked it, so that makes it right. Things are moral, things are acceptable if at least 10,000 people clap when you say it. That's just how the world works. Again, this is the party that says they have a book that is a perfect manual for morality. But anything goes, and especially anything goes if we can just say that he's a counterpuncher. Okay, so what is a counterpuncher supposed to mean the way they're using it? It's that he didn't just walk up and punch someone, he was punched, so he punches back. Okay, that does not, again, make things moral. I think that Jesus specifically talked about what you should do if you're struck. He was fairly specific about it, by the way, and there wasn't much counterpunching in his advice. But okay, so he's a counterpuncher. So what did deceased Representative John Dingell recently do to Trump to cause him to punch against him? Nothing, he's been dead for months and months. So what did the widow do? God only knows. Best case scenario, if you actually think that labeling someone a counterpuncher makes what they do less horrendous, then this is just, he is facing pressure over impeachment, and so he's counterpunching. So that is saying that if someone is under pressure, anything they do, no matter how horrible, no matter how disconnected from the pressure they're facing, becomes acceptable. All of these people, the representatives of Donald Trump, the defenders of Donald Trump, are talking about him the way a parent who has horrifically spoiled their child would defend their actions. There is no defense, there's no rational defense. The counterpuncher thing can be applied in any situation. They use it for literally everything. And I know that talking about this at all is probably a waste of time, but I feel like at some point, someone needs to stand up for decency. I don't want vicious, ridiculous, insane attacks to be just everyday news, to go uncriticized, to just say, well, look, everybody is counterpunching, anything goes, everybody's in hell, every congressman or congresswoman can be just ignored because they're not physically attractive enough. What a weird world we're being brought into with politicians like Donald Trump and sociopaths like Stephanie Grisham in this particular case. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.